if you're seeing this, I've been kidnapped by Ryan Gray, and he's making me do this thing called the Leadership Odyssey. I don't know what it is, but I've been trapped in this basement for days. Please, help me get out, please.
You're listening to the AVIT Amplifier. Each week, we'll feature voices and ideas that need to be amplified in the higher education and pro-AV IT communities. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. And now here's your host, Ryan Gray.
Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in again to the AVIT Amplifier. As always, my name is Ryan Gray, and I am your host, and if it is Wednesday, then your feed has been refreshed with new content, and this Wednesday is no exception. I am recording this on the Tuesday ahead of time, and my hope is that you can hear me, as if you are watching on YouTube, you can hopefully excuse any wind noise that you see and shaking of the camera, as the background is the Sea of Cortez, or the Gulf of California, depending. I am in Puerto Peñasco, Mexico today, as it is the time of the annual October family trip with my wife and her sisters and their children and their families, and it is, as always, a good time, as these families have moved through times and quarters of their lives. It has been a blessing to be able to share times like this and be with nieces and nephews and get to come down here and sort of revamp and reconnect. It's been an interesting year, as we're at a different place than we normally are, and if the wind noise is a lot, this is the calmest the wind has been the entire time we've been here. But it is an absolutely beautiful day now, and I can't let that go. If there are folks here from Yavapai College, or some of the other listeners who are more in tune with what is going on with me day to day, that I am in the middle. There's a lot going on, and there are a lot of things happening, but I will just send this as a message that even though there were a lot of things going on and a lot of things happening, both personally and otherwise, I chose to take the time to, not cancel and make this trip. And it has proven to be valuable. Also, if you're marking time, you will see I do still have the blue fiberglass cast on my hand, as my broken wrist persists. Anticipate I have a appointment with the specialist when I get home, anticipating a surgical repair after that. But all of that to say, we are here for a Gray Matter Moment episode about the Leadership Odyssey. And I want to tell you a little story, and my teaser is hang on for the end of this episode, because the video that comes at the end is totally worth doing. I will attempt to go through this quickly, but also hit the points of value that I think are important. So first off, at Yavapai College, the president, when she first came in, one of the things she brought from her previous institution was trying to institute something called the Students of Leadership. I think it was called something different there, but for at Yavapai College, it's the Students of Leadership. It's an application-based program for students who, want to be leaders, want to get some in-depth work alongside their peers and along staff and faculty about developing leadership. And that program for each year, the main big kickoff event is a retreat, a 3-day, 2-night retreat at a camp on a mountaintop nearby. Of course, we are fortunate enough where we live to have those around, and I will give a shout out to Janice Suti, who is the director of student activities, who has been after me for a while to join in that program. And I have always felt that, I was just too busy to do it. And I would put that in this, is there's always a reason you're too busy to do something. But this is one of those things that I knew took real commitment, and I didn't want to half do it if I was going to jump in. And this was the year that I had decided to do it. The other thing is, I was at said retreat that this wrist thing happened, but that is another story for another day. The story for today is about, at this retreat, a lot of the advisors, the mentors, the staff and faculty who have come on prepare presentations for the students that are there about leadership. And I got paired up with one of our deans, Stacy Hilton, to do just that. And when it came to the concept of leadership and what's been important to me, one of the things that I really identified was a huge part of whatever leadership I have been able to achieve has come because of others, because of the network of people that I have gotten connected to, and because of the ideas, advice, and wisdom of other people that I have encountered and cultivated over my career. And that exists before I was in higher ed and after. It exists both in my professional and personal life. It exists in the time that I've spent as a board member of K-12 school district, as a public servant, and in all facets of my life, if that makes sense. And so the cool thing for this that worked out was the theme that was chosen for this year's retreat was the Rising Phoenix. And of course, anyone from Arizona is very aware Phoenix, and and I think the Harry Potter movies did a good job of bringing the concept of the Phoenix back, which is, the Phoenix is a mythical bird of fire that, eventually burns up and is reborn, and it's kind of cool. But what was awesome when we started to look at where the intersection of sort of networking and the concept of the mythical bird of a phoenix went was, I looked up, well, what is what is a group of phoenix called? And we all know sort of the fun, weird names like a group of fish is a school, and a group of crows is called a murder. Don't even get me started on how weird that is. But these cool things that happen with, and I don't know how they happen, with animals that say, a group of XYZ animal is called this or that. And so when I went and looked it up, knowing that, a phoenix was not a real thing, what had people said? And what was cool is that when I went to look that up, that a small group of multiple phoenix is called a venture, and a large group is called an Odyssey. And when I heard that, I was like, oh man, you couldn't ask for a better thematic piece of narrative to use to put together a presentation about the value of cultivating both friends and confidants in leadership, but also your wider network. And I will not make you all suffer through the PowerPoint that we put together, but suffice to say, the presentation that Dean Hilton and I did, I think went really well. And one of the reasons was she brought in a cool a comparison with Taylor Swift, which would be really convoluted to put in here, but we went through a little bit of the reasoning of the brain chemicals that are involved in these kinds of connections. And I don't think I'll ever do a real serious presentation ever again without addressing the brain chemicals that are at play in whatever it is I'm talking about, and that's a whole other thesis. But what we were talking about is the idea that, quick wins and motivation comes from dopamine, but that true connection comes from and is driven by the brain chemical oxytocin, and that making true and real connections is about building oxytocin-based relationships. And so what we drew out of that was this idea twofold, that, and I love the thematic part, that for these budding leaders, they needed first to develop their venture. That is, your venture is your small group, your tight-knit community, your ride or die people that know you and understand you. This takes time. This is not easy. But those are the people who you venture out with. And that's what I love thematically. That is, when you're ready to leave the nest, when you're ready to really get going, those are the people you can venture out with. And those are the people in your venture, your leadership venture. because that was the name of a small group of Phoenix. And we talked about, and they did a little discussion at their tables and some journaling about the need for trust and the values and what it means and what it would take to develop and understand that someone is truly part of that leadership venture. And then we widened the scope after that to the concept of the leadership Odyssey, because Odyssey is the name of a large group of Phoenix. And when I heard that, it struck such a chord with me, because I feel like so many of us have a leadership odyssey. Our careers are an odyssey. It evokes such an epic way of thinking, an epic story that is taking place. And that odyssey is defined by the people that you bring into it. So your leadership odyssey is that group of people that you have allowed to influence you, to influence your story. This retreat had a through line of talking about your own story, talking about your story leading up to it, and how you define or rewrite your story going after it. And so we brought that in, which is, what is the group of people that you are willing as a leader to allow to influence or change your story going forward? And the important part of that being that leaders need to be careful and conscientious about curating their odyssey. Not just their story, but their leadership odyssey. That is the group of people in their large group of Phoenix that they allow to influence that story. So that in the conceptual part of the presentation is your leadership odyssey, both the story of your leadership throughout your life and career, but the large group of other Phoenix that you gather around you, that you travel out with, and that you allow to be part of your long Odyssey story. Now, I would love to tell you that this presentation was prepared in detail in advance, and I don't know the last time I've been able to do a presentation that way, but much less now with so many things happening, so many things going on. And I don't complain about that. I mean, I complain about it, but I don't mean to complain about it, because so much of what I'm working on now is truly good things I love and things that I believe in, both at Yavapai College and in the wider group of technologists working to make higher education an amazing thing for people. But the truth is that I got up to this retreat, and of course, being the tech guy, I got volunteered to bring up the sound system early and set it up and do all that stuff. And it was great, because I got back to my roots of balancing microphones and doing gain structure and all that. It was fun. But our presentation, mine and Dean Hilton's, was going to come on the morning of the second day. And on the first day, we were in the middle of an activity at the beginning where small groups were doing a little bit of an exercise where you made a flag for your small group, which is kind of arts and craftsy, but it was really designed to kind of build the themes of the people who were there. It was really cool. And I was kind of beset with this feeling that later now I realize was kind of probably drawn from a feeling of, either unworthiness or inadequacy. But it was, I'm going to stand up in front of this group tomorrow and try and tell them about the importance of, bringing together this group of people. And why should they possibly believe me if I do that? And I thought, well, I could tell the stories of what the people in my leadership odyssey have meant to me, with the people who over time I have not only relied on, welcomed in, invited in, asked more of than I could ever repay to them in terms of helping me as a leader and helping me as a person and as a man. And because I'm a weirdo, I'm a Myers-Briggs ENFP, I have this problem when things come up that I have a short circuit of having an idea and then immediately putting it into action, whether it's a good one or not. The proof is in the pudding. So what would the people of your Leadership Odyssey actually have to say? I mean, who are these people? If I'm going to claim that an important part of developing leadership for me has been collecting these people, then shouldn't I be able to show proof of that? And again, I understand that's probably born of a little bit of insecurity. So this retreat is supposed to be one where it's kind of phones down, and which is good, to get students, staff, and faculty away from daily communication and really focusing on what's going on there. But in that thing, I sort of snuck out the side and I typed out a little text message and I copied it and I went through my contacts real quick and pasted it to people that I thought, this is a person who I have welcomed the influence of. This is a person who I have welcomed the influence of. This is a person who has helped me. This is a person who has invested in me. This is a person who has made me a better leader than I am. This is a person who has taught me something I wouldn't have otherwise known. And the text was basically, hey, sorry for the short, last minute thing. I'm giving a presentation tomorrow, but would you be willing to just take a quick selfie video that says, hi, my name is X. State who you are, what is your role, and just finish it up with, I am part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey. And I knew that was a big ask. And I sent it out hoping that maybe, a few people would reply, because I was asking for it right then. Maybe a couple of people would be at a place and time where they could answer. And after that, I went back to phones down, and we went through the rest of the night, which ended late. And so when all the activities of the day were over, I went back and picked up my phone to go, okay, let's see who replied and what I can put together for this presentation tomorrow. And what I found was overwhelming. What I found blew me away. And so I stayed up, I grabbed iMovie, I got out some video editing, and this is the result of it. And what my thought was for the presentation is, well, I better start with this because it'll give me credibility to talk about the topic I'm talking about. Because of what I saw on my texts that evening, I knew, nope, this is the closer. And I cannot tell you what the effect on that group was. I think there are young people in there who, beyond anything that I said and that Dean Hilton said, beyond any of the journaling and discussions we put them through or had them do, because there were great questions of value, that when I said, here's basically what happened, and told them the story that way, was my level of insecurity. Here's what I asked of people, and this is the result. I played this video. First, thank you to all of the people in my Leadership Odyssey who trust me enough and have invested in me over the years. And to those who heard my call and answered it, I am amazingly grateful. And I understand that this video is guaranteed more for me than for anybody else, but I'm extremely proud of it. So that presentation finished with me telling the story that here is my insecurity. Here is what I did to try and prove to myself, or to try and prove to you people here in the audience, that I know what I'm talking about. And here's what happened.
My name is John Hamilton. I'm the audiovisual manager for Emory University School of Medicine, and I'm part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
My name is Dan Streeter. I'm the proud superintendent of the Marana Unified School District and past president of the Arizona School Administrators Association, and I am a part of Ryan Gray's Leadership Odyssey.
Hi, I'm Andy Vogel with The Ohio State University.
Hi, I'm Bex, and I'm a business development manager for an international technology company.
Hey, my name is Chris Dector.
Hi, I am Britt Genser.
Hey guys, my name is Tim Albright.
Hello, my name is Dr. Adeline Tatum.
Hello everybody, I am Jordan Scales.
My name is Zach Garfield.
Hi, my name is Troy Powers.
I'm Micah Spanos.
Hello, this is Frank Alimo here.
Hi, I'm Ann Kelly.
I'm Tom Aldridge.
Hi, I'm John Gunzel.
I'm Cole Young.
Hi there, my name is Renee Benson.
My name is Chris Kelly.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Weaver.
My name is Richard Pierce.
I'm Tim Van Wert.
My name is Brittany Gray.
Hi, my name is BC Hatch.
Atkins Fleming.
My name is Erin Barbaran.
Hey, good morning. My name is Evan Gray. I'm the Associate Director of Student Success at the University of Arizona Global Campus.
And I'm the Manager of Classroom Technology Services at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
And I'm the IT Manager for Classroom Technology at Johns Hopkins University.
At Texas State University.
The Director of Classroom Technology at Vanderbilt University.
I'm a content producer at RTM Business Group.
And I am a Technology Support Technician.
I'm an Executive Director of Operational Risk Management at Wells Fargo.
I'm also part of a nonprofit that helps educate and mentor young professionals and youth.
Higher Education Technology Account Manager
with Rutgers University in New Jersey.
Audiovisual Specialist for Ames Community College.
Associate Principal and Director of the Project Management Group.
That will help improve and innovate in the education space.
I am the AV System Support Lead at Northwestern University.
Engineering Supervisor for UCLA Digital Spaces.
I am the ITS Client Relationship Manager.
I am the AV Manager at Northampton Community College.
At Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska.
I am Senior Regional Account Manager at Sony,
better known as UCLA.
I'm listed as the President of AV Nation.
I'm the Superintendent of Mojave Valley Elementary School District, and I am part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
And I'm part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
And I'm part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
And I'm part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
I'm part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
I am part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
I am part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
And I am part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
And I am part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
Ryan's Leadership Odyssey. Leadership Odyssey.
Leadership Odyssey.
Leadership Odyssey.
Leadership Odyssey.
Leadership Odyssey.
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 Leadership Odyssey.
Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
And I am part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey.
And I'm part of Ryan's Leadership Odyssey. Ryan, you owe me $10.
My name's Jimmy Singleton. If you're seeing this, I've been kidnapped by Ryan Gray, and he's making me do this thing called the Leadership Odyssey. I don't know what it is, but I've been trapped in this basement for days. Please help me get out, please.
Thank you for listening to the AV IT Amplifier. Join us again for next week's episode when we'll welcome a new guest who you'll want to hear from. We promise. Your host has been Ryan Gray. He's on the tweeters at Ryan_A_Gray, or find him on LinkedIn to connect. Please subscribe and give the show a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. The views expressed here are not necessarily those of our respective institutions, employers, or sponsors. Everyone hang in there, go easy, and we'll be back next week.